if you find tough conversations in sales calls hard or confrontational, you're shit at sales. That's it. So these are my thoughts for today, because I had one of my sales team come up with many excuses as to why they were struggling to have hard conversations. And it came down to they didn't like confrontation. And it's interesting because when you or anyone else has to have a tough conversation, would you rather have it with a stranger or your partner or your best friend or your parents? Who would you rather have that with? And I know for me, the number one person I would most like to have a tough conversation with is my partner, because we have built the most robust relationship out of all of the relationships that I have. And so I know that I can talk to her about anything. And this is why it doesn't make you a pussy. Like, it doesn't make you a pussy that you just don't know, or you don't feel comfortable having tough conversations. But it is going to make you bad at your job. And so the biggest reason I have noticed as to why you feel uncomfortable having those conversations is because the people you're speaking to do not know, like, or trust you. If you have that sort of relationship with someone, it's not hard to have a tough conversation, because tough conversations are not hard. They become confrontational when there is miscommunication. And this specific scenario came about in a sales training where I was watching a friend of mine's sales calls, a different company, and man, he went in hard for about half an hour on these 3 basic points. 1, do you have a problem that needs solving? Yes, brilliant. 2, do you think I am the person to get you to where you want to be? Do you trust that I can fulfill that? Yes or no? So yes, brilliant. Okay, the 3rd one, do you have the money to start today? Yes or no? If after all 3 of those, and they're all astounding yeses, and you're still on the call, they want it. They're just scared. And so having a tough conversation of being like, look, you know you've got a problem. You know what happens if you don't do it. You know what you're going to get when you do it. 2, you know that this is the right place to do that. It's the best on the market, etc., etc. And 3, you've got the money to get started. So I'm really struggling to see why you're hesitating, why you're not getting started and getting those results today, because then you get the change of your life today. And that is not a confrontation. It's a question. It's a query. I'm struggling to find it. Can you help me identify where the gap is? Because if they can't find one, and you have gone through all of your objection handles, all this sort of stuff, they're just scared, and that's okay. And so it's really important to understand the difference between a confrontation and problem solving. Now, if you go in there and just be like, give me your money, give it to me right now, and you're shouting at them, like, that's a confrontation. That's not how you win people over. But if you've gone through the whole sales call process, you've got to know them, you've had a laugh, they like you, they really trust that you're the authority in this area, and that you've identified they have a problem that needs solving, you've identified with them what happens if they don't do it, what happens if they do it, so you've created the motivation, and then they've got the money to go ahead and do it, and it's worth it to them. It is your ethical duty to sit there in silence when you say, let's get this going. Great, would you like to pay by card or bank transfer? I'd say cash or card, but we're not in person in this scenario. It's your duty to do that, otherwise they will not receive the same help. And if they're going backwards and forwards and you'd be like, look, how many times have you been on a call like this? How many people have you spoken to? How many times have you not made the decision to make a change and you're still here? Do you want to be in exactly the same place in 2 or 3 years? And their answer is no. Otherwise they wouldn't be talking to you. And so it's not a confrontation, it's, bro, I just want the best for you. So I'm just a little bit lost. Because you've got this, you've got that, and you've got that. You've got those 3 things. Why are you hesitating? Why are you not ready to get started today? So that's it. If you are struggling to have tough conversations with people, straight up you're bad at building rapport, which makes you a bad salesperson. So go and learn to build rapport. Got videos on it, but if you want more details on it, comment below and I will happily give you my framework in another video, because I enjoy making that one. Alright guys, those are my thoughts for today. Lots of love. Peace.